How's it going, everybody? I'll wait just a little bit to get started here. Tidy up my workspace. Today we're going to be working on this 90% silver Puerto Rico quarter. Get a size 11 coin ring. If anybody out there is interested in getting a coin ring like this, Puerto Rico, I have all 50 states as well, at coinringmaker.com. I'm going to go ahead and pin that link right now so it's easy to find. There should be a little gold link down here. There's also a website link on my TikTok profile. Thanks for the rose, man. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hop right into this. The first thing we got to do is punch a hole in our quarter. How's it going, JT? How you been, buddy? Put a little bit of paper towel down. It's going to help protect our details. So we punch this on through here. Thanks for the weights, man. For anybody who's just joining in here, I'm Coin Ring Maker. I make coins into rings, and today we're working on a 90% silver Puerto Rico quarter. This quarter's from 2009. It's pretty cool. It should make a nice ring. I need to get a different size bit of paper here. That other one wasn't quite right. That looks pretty good. Alright guys, go ahead and tap the screen for me a couple times. And I will tap the punch through this quarter. How about that? Is that a deal? Move my phone out of the way so I don't hit it with my camera. And get a punch. Knock it on through here. Alright. There is our Puerto Rico center punch. It's pretty cool. While I'm working on this, if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. And if you'd like to check out my shop, there should be a little gold chain down here you can tap on. Other than that, if you're enjoying the live, make sure to tap the screen. We got 530 likes so far. Here is our quarter. Now we're going to clean up that inside cut edge with our deburring tool. See, it's a little sharp. We're going to take our deburring tool and clean that up. This is a 90% silver Puerto Rico quarter. I use a 1/2 inch punch on almost every coin. I'm just a really big fan of it. But the specific tool I use is put out by Jason's Works. It's an auto centering punch. So as you tighten it down, your coin will automatically move to the center. That's how you get a really nice punch right in the middle of the coin. That's really important because you want the band to be the same thickness all the way around. It's one of the first issues I ran into making coin rings, was getting that punch perfectly centered. I used to use a Harbor Freight punch and die kit. And man, trying to get that thing perfectly centered was tricky. So I ended up designing and 3D printing my own guides for different coins and different size punches. And eventually I made enough from making these rings to get myself a really nice Jason's Works punch. I really like it. Yeah, 90% silver is my favorite. I really like constitutional silver coins. I think they make the best rings. Silver dollar ring, I have Morgan dollars, peace dollars, and then quite a few commemorative dollars. You can find those all on my website, buycoinrings.com. I think there's a gold chain down here you can tap on. Just go to coin rings, 90% silver, and then dollars, and it'll show all the options. Yeah, I think it's a rite of passage when you finally get to set aside the Harbor Freight punch and die kit. But I made it do work. Yeah, if anybody else has any questions, feel free to ask. If you need any help along the way there, Adam, let me know. Why didn't I make the hole bigger? I try to keep as much of the original coin detail as I can on the ring. So the smaller the punch, the more detail is going to be on the ring. And this makes a really nice sized ring. Here's an example of a finished quarter. I think the band size on that is really nice while keeping a lot of the detail. What I recommend for ring sizes is to visit a jewelry store. It shouldn't take more than 10 minutes, and most of them will do it for free. The reason I recommend that is there's a lot of like really dumb ways on the internet to measure your finger to get your ring size, like with string or tape or I don't know, a bunch of weird stuff, paper I've even seen, and they're not accurate. Almost everyone I've worked with who's measured their finger that way has got an inaccurate size. So I do recommend you just visit a jewelry store and get size there. I do have 1 ounce fine silver Libertads. Those are the only Mexican coin I have on my shop. I think I have 1984, 85, and 86, but they're pretty cool. And this is called a deburring tool. I saw that question. It's a deburring tool. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Visit a jewelry store if you don't know your ring size and get size there. Let a professional let you know what size your finger is. That way, when I do make your ring, it'll fit nice and comfortable the first time. All right, so now we've got the inside of our coin nice and shiny and smooth. We're going to anneal it. This is a process where we heat it up with some fire. On your website, I can order them there. Yeah, absolutely. There should be a little gold chain, I think at the bottom of this. Somebody give me a thumbs up if that's where the gold chain is. But my shop link is also on my TikTok profile. Let me see if I can pin it for you. Should be easy to find there. But yeah, you can order through my shop. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Again, we're just annealing our coin here. This is going to soften it up and make it less brittle. Kind of watch for the flame to turn kind of that orange color. You see that? That's about where I cut it off. Nice, nice. So I don't want anything to get in the way of you guys ordering. So if you're hung up somewhere, let me know. It's called a deburring tool. It's usually used by plumbers and machinists, like to clean up the inside of pipe, but it works really, really good for cleaning up the inside of punched coins as well. Peace dollar coin ring is $200. All right. So here is our coin so far. You can see it's got a bit of discoloration. It's a bit darker than it was a minute ago. That's some fire scale. Once we get this to the proper size and shape, we will clean it up and get it all shiny again. That's not a problem, so don't worry about that. Now we're going to hop over here to the 1-ton arbor press, and we're going to start folding our coin ring. Yeah, 90% silver quarters are 100, half dollars are 150, and dollars are 200. This is a doming block. This is what we're going to use to get our first fold. And I have had some people ask me why I don't fold right away with this 17-degree die, because I still use the 17-degree die. But I kind of want to show you, for anyone who's curious, if we started with this and then folded it with this cone, it has a real tendency to kind of move around in ways you don't want it to. So it doesn't fold very evenly if you do it like this, especially if you go really fast. It'll whoosh. Yeah, peace dollars are 200. Are you asking what peace dollars are? You hate peace dollars? I like them. They're one of my wife's favorites because her favorite number is 22, and it's not too difficult to find a 1922 peace dollar. So almost everyone I work on ends up being a 22, and she really likes how bold the text is on it. It's really in your face. The date's really nice. What's the box called? This is called a doming block. This is usually used for if you have like a flat piece of metal and you want to kind of curve it out for like jewelry purposes. But I use it for folding because we're going to get a really nice even fold. Like I showed you on the die a second ago, it likes to move around. That's another reason I use a ball instead of a cone. So we're applying pressure equally all around the band. So it's only gonna have one option, and it's gonna fold really nicely. Where do you find a doming block? You can find them on Amazon pretty easily. They aren't super hard to find there. I got this one at Harbor Freight, but you can get them on Amazon as well. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and give this a nice fold here. Now it's nice and evenly folded all the way around. We don't have any warping, so it's still nice and flat. And that's going to help us get a better looking ring. So now that we've got our first fold out of the way, we're going to go back to the 17-degree die I showed you a little bit ago. We're just going to make sure it's as flat and even as in there as we can. We'll pop our cone in while keeping our coin flat. And you want to make sure to fold really slow. I've seen some people fold really fast, and they usually end up with kind of a wonky or uneven ring. So I'm going to go really slow. And that's going to help it stay nice and even all the way around. Doesn't that look nice? It's a pretty common misconception. What's the cost if you have the coin? I charge the same whether I work on your coin or mine. Currently, I have custom orders shut down for the summer. I should be opening those up again in about 2 weeks. So right now, the only option is for me to work on my coins. And that's just kind of to reduce my workloads while I have my kids at home during the summer. But once they go back to school, we'll start up custom orders again. So as far as the legality about making jewelry out of coins, it's very similar legally to penny smashing machines you might find at like Six Flags, SeaWorld. museums, touristy attractions. As long as you don't fraudulently alter the currency, it's not really against the law. And that would be like taking a penny and making it look like a dime and trying to spend it. That would be a fraudulent alteration or change. But as far as what I do, it's considered like art, and there's no fraud in what I do. I show you guys step by step how I make my rings pretty much every day. And my customers are usually pretty pleased. With the center punch, yes. So this customer ordered a center punch pin. So what we're going to be making this into is one of these. I actually have one I can show off. So it's just like a pin you can put on your hat or your shirt or your tie, wherever you want to put it. But yeah, I make pins. I also make keychains or necklaces out of these. So you have a couple options when you order your ring. And if you're not interested in the center punch, you can get just the ring. So that's kind of like a fun add-on you can do. Thank you, thank you. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to ask. What I'm doing right here is I'm making sure that this cut edge is super smooth. So if I don't pay attention to this cut edge and there's any kind of scratch or nick, once I start stretching it, that scratch or nick will split. And that is not what we want to happen. Here's an example of what we're trying to avoid. So we're gonna smooth that out. What's the V cut for? That's that's what happens when you stretch a coin ring and it splits. So that's a failure. Here's another example of a split coin ring. So every time I mess up one of these, I set it aside and keep it for later to remind myself not to do it again. So this is a super fine steel wool. So it's like 4-0 steel wool. It's like the lightest steel wool you can get. So we're not going to add scratches. We're actually taking them away, making it nice and smooth. Yep. So I keep all my mistakes nearby. Good reminders. All right. So now we've got that nice and shiny and smooth. We're going to head over to our ring stretcher here. And I like to put stuff between my ring and the tools I use it on, especially when they're metal. So this is a blue shop paper towel, like an automotive paper towel. That's going to help keep these inside details here. You see all those letters and stuff. If we didn't have this between it, the stretcher would kind of smush those down. They wouldn't be as sharp. So that's why we're putting that on there. And how the ring stretcher works is when we lift this lever up, it pushes this spike out of the top. And the spike is wider at the bottom than it is at the top. So as we push the spike up, it pushes out these pieces of metal here. These are called splines, and there's a few of them all the way around. And the spike goes up, the splines go out, and that stretches the ring pretty evenly. It's a pretty genius tool. Like before I had this, I definitely had some interesting ways to stretch my rings out. I very much appreciate the ease this brings to the work I get to do. So I've got starting to look more like a ring, right? Getting closer and closer. And as I stretch it out, it's less cone shaped drastically. It's not quite that 17 degrees we had it when we started folding. So you're going to have more points of contact on the inside of the ring as it starts leveling out. So I like to flip it over periodically so that it just stretches easier with less point of contact. to the stretcher itself. And we're going to be making this one size 11, so we got quite a bit of stretching to do. And as we stretch and shape this thing, it's going to start to work harden. And as it work hardens, it's going to get more brittle. It's not going to really want to stretch. It's going to start fighting against me, and that's about the point we're at right now. So I'm going to go ahead and anneal it again. That's going to help soften it back up, make it easier to stretch. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. If you've never seen me before, I'm Coin Ring Maker. I make coins into rings. And if you've liked this live so far, I do encourage you to hit that follow button and tap the screen if you're enjoying the live. Almost at 2,000 likes, doing pretty good. What do I use the Teflon tape for? So it's pretty much, it serves the same purpose as the paper towel and the stretcher, except the Teflon tape protects the outside of the ring when we push it through dies like this. So instead of protecting the inside detail, the tape protects the outside detail. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you guys want to check out some of my finished products, some of my, this is just my shop. I'll pin it down here. There should be a little gold link you can tap on as well. And there's a link on my profile. So I do encourage you guys to check that out. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Now, something else I'm doing along with flipping the ring over is I'm rotating it. So if we just kept it stationary, every time I pulled on it, it would apply pressure to the same points on the ring and eventually create kind of a weak spot where it would snap. So rotating it, flipping it upside down, that applies pressure to different points on the ring, and that makes it stretch more evenly. Dude, Blue Monster is awesome. This is some solid tape right here. Big fan. I used to use just regular cheap, like the white generic tape, and I use maybe like 1/3 of the Blue Monster compared to that white stuff. It's hella good. Go ahead and check our ring size. All right, so we got that to about a 12.5. Yeah, here's a good look at how it's coming along. We got a nice little floral design here. I'll even zoom in. There we go. There's our floral design, 2009. Your Plubis Unum and Puerto Rico. And we still got all those details on the inside looking nice and crisp. Now, I told you guys the target size for this is 11, and I showed you it's at like a 12.5. And the reason I stretch over our target size is if you look at it, it's still got a bit of that cone shape, and you can't really break away from that using a ring stretcher. So I stretch one size over, at least, and then I reduce the wider side. It's going to be this reeded edge, and match it up with the cut edge. So it's going to be a nice straight wall band after we reduce it. So now we're going to head over to the 1-ton arbor press once again and start reducing. Will she fit? Yes. Again, you want to go really slow with this, because if you just hammer it down, you may reduce it too much. So we're just going to go a little bit eyeball it, check our size, see how it looks, check the shape. Okay, we could probably reduce it a little bit more. Do I have time for custom orders right now? At this time, I'm not accepting custom orders. They're going to open back up in about 2 weeks. Once the kiddos go back to school, I will have more time for custom orders, and I'll have that all set up. So if you want to reach back out to me in about 2 weeks, we should be able to get that going. That looks pretty good. Let's check our size. It's probably still too big. Yeah. So right now it's a little over 11 and a half. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to ask. I do have a lot to choose from on the website. So if you have a specific type of coin in mind, there's a good chance I have it in my inventory. But if you're wanting me to work on like something with sentimental value or your particular coin, that's something I'm going to have to wait. They keep banning me from making coin jewelry on here. Huh. I don't know, man. I've been doing this for over 3 years. Live on TikTok. I haven't had any issues. Is it possible they're banning you for a different reason? So I know a couple other coin ring makers that post on here too. A little flared out still. We're just doing little baby changes. All right, so now we've got it about a quarter size under 11. Yeah, it's not illegal. No, sir. And the reason we did it 1/4 size under, let me show you, is on the inside of the ring, there is a lip right above the text. You see that raised bit of metal in there? So that's going to throw off our ring size, and it's also not super comfortable. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut that away, remove it, and we should be pretty close to our target size. I've seen coin cutters on here too. That's weird, man. I'm sorry. I wish I could give you some helpful advice. But I really don't know. TikTok it's a wild beast. It's hard to judge why they do what they do. So again, we're going back to the deburring tool to clean up that little lip on the inside there. Huh. Well, your name makes sense. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. And if you haven't checked out the shop yet, the link is this gold link down at the bottom of the screen here. when I first started, I was just kind of inspired by the coins that like I came in contact with at my job. Like once I started actually looking at quarters and the number of variations of quarters that are just out in circulation, I was like flabbergasted. Like there's all 50 states, there's a bunch of different years, there's territories, there's the America the Beautiful series. They're currently coming out with like this, what's it called? It's like women's quarters, which are pretty sick. Like there's definitely some really cool quarters out there. So that's what first got me going. But now I can't look at a coin and not see what it would look like as a ring. Like every coin now is like, oh man, that would that would make a good ring. I would like to work on that. Please give it to me. I actually encountered a dollar I'd never seen before today. This bad boy. I'd never seen this one before. And it's a weird commemorative too, because it doesn't say what it commemorates on there. It just says $1, United States of America, 2012, Liberty, and In God We Trust. And on almost every commemorative, it'll tell you what it's commemorating. And apparently this is the Star Spangled Banner commemorative dollar, and it commemorates a specific battle. I don't know. I'm still learning about what this is. It was a weird dollar. I had to get it. It's pretty. Now we've got that lip all taken care of there. We'll check our ring size and see how close to 11 we are. Shoot, I almost had it. So now we get to do the back and forth game of make it smaller, make it bigger. So make it smaller, make it bigger. I'll never get it on the first try. How can I contact you to get a ring from me? The best option right now is just visit my website and find a ring there you like and place an order. If there's something specific you have in mind and you're not sure if I have it or not, you can ask and I'll let you know. But I sure do have a lot to pick from. See, that's what I thought at first. I thought it was the Pentagon. It's not. It's Pentagon shaped. It's actually Ellis Island, because that's Lady Liberty. So that's like what she stands on at Ellis Island. It's the Statue of Liberty without the Statue of Liberty. It threw me off. It's totally it's a weird coin, man. What's the website? Coinringmaker.com. And I'll actually pull this out here for you guys. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this. You're going to have my website right here and a 10% off coupon code. Just use the code WELCOME at checkout. That'll save you 10%. This coupon is going to last forever, so make sure to get a screenshot of it right now and save it for later if you're interested. I'm going to leave that there for just a little bit. What am I going to do with that coin? Probably make it into a ring. Probably going to make a ring out of it. Safe bet. Here is our ring so far. Check how we like the shape of it. I think the cut edge is a little flared out. We're going to make sure we got the right size, right shape. That looks really good. All right. So now we get to do my favorite part. You'll tap the screen. This is my favorite part. Let's go. If I get an order on this live, I'd be happy to make it, but this is the only order I have in the shop right now. So if you go to coinringmaker.com and place an order right now, I will make your ring on this live in front of everybody. First one that gets in, I'll make it for you on the live. But I make everything to order, so I can't just make them for fun. I gotta wait until somebody orders one. I do have dimes, mercury dimes, on my website. I am a bit limited on the size range I can do for those. I think it's like 3 to 7. And I don't work on pennies at all. They're not worth the trouble. Like, I'd end up having to charge more than I would want to for penny coin rings. And they're entirely copper, so they're going to turn your finger green. I just don't think they make very good rings, and they like to break. So at this time, I don't offer pennies, but I do have mercury dimes on the website. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to ask. What we're using on here is called Mother's Automotive, or it's Mother's mag and aluminum polish. And that's just going to melt away all that fire scale we got on there when we annealed the coin and make it nice and shiny as well. And this polish is super great. Like, I've tried everything under the sun to remove fire scale, and this stuff just does it without even trying. It's kind of incredible. And it doesn't even take that much work, which is pretty cool. We're just getting the inside of the ring. And we'll go back to the outside here. And while I polish this up, if you guys want to check out my shop, I'll go ahead and pin it right here so it's really easy to find. You can use the coupon code WELCOME to save 10%. And if I get an order before I finish this ring, I'll make it on this live for you. There you go. Oh, man. You caught the tail end of it, Alfredo. No problem. Thanks for your order. What removes the fire scale? It's called Mother's Mag and Aluminum Polish. I find it in the automotive section in Walmart. You can also find it at like AutoZone or other auto parts stores. I think it's supposed to be for cars, but it works really, really well on removing fire scale from coin rings, which is a difficult task. Yeah, no problem. And like, look at the shine we're getting on that. I've been rubbing on this for maybe 2 minutes, and dude, it's already getting freaking pretty beautiful. If you guys haven't hit the follow button yet, there's 700 of you in here. Your homework today is to hit the follow button immediately, and I'll know if you don't do it, and you'll go to detention. So hit the follow button, or you're gonna have to stay after school and not do anything. You just got to sit there in silence. You don't want to do that. Love to hear it. A buffing wheel? I bet it does. But I try to do everything by hand. I really like just the process of doing this with my hands. Yeah. Sorry, I just get into polishing. I know that's not the most exciting thing to look at, but it's just gonna get shinier. Thank you again for your order, man. I do appreciate it. And if you did miss this live, I recommend subscribing to me on YouTube. I repost all my TikTok lives there. So in, I don't know, probably about 3 days, this will be on there. And you can watch it whenever you want. Yeah, that's getting hecka shiny. How's it going? Thumbs up. Yeah, this was a good live, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to tap the screen a couple hundred times for me and hit the follow button if you haven't yet. I'll go ahead and throw a coupon card up here again. You guys can take a screenshot of that. It's got a 10% off coupon code and my website on there. If you want to save it for later and go check it out, go grab one of our polishing cloths and make it even shinier. We'll do that. There we go. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. We're almost done with this one. I really like these polishing cloths because it shows you how clean your ring is getting by getting dirty itself, which I think is a nice feature. Let's see if we can pass the mirror reflection test. I can see my fingers. Oh yeah. She good. Yeah, that looks real nice. I also like how small the date is on this one. Usually the date is either, it's like right in the middle. So this one, it's not centered and it's just kind of small. I think it looks nice. It doesn't like take away from the Puerto Rico. Yeah, let's see if we can get it. Once it gets this shiny, it gets a little tricky to focus on it. Yeah, she looks good. It's a good looking ring, guys. Now I'm going to keep polishing this for the rest of the night because it's never shiny enough for me. I always want it to be more shiny. Big fan of shiny silver. Well, I'll open the floor up for about 1 more minute. If anybody has any questions, throw them in the chat right now or forever hold your peace. And y'all make sure to check out the website, okay? coinringmaker.com. Thanks for watching. Shiny, 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 shiny. Very nice. All right, guys. I hope you have a good evening. And if you want to catch me on my next live, hit the follow button right now. Yep. You'll have to catch the next one, CJ. Sorry, bro. But look at this beauty. That's a good looking ring right there. I can get it to focus. Get closer. Oh, yeah. There we go. Look at that. Woo! Beautiful, beautiful. Well, as always, guys, y'all have a great day. We'll catch you next time. Peace.